Hi everybody, it's Deb Brosnan. Welcome to today's live video. So we're going to talk about how boredom creates money scarcity for empaths and intuitives. So I'm going to take you on a little trip. Okay, we're going to do a little timeline here. And let's go back a bit. Let's go back before right now. And I have spoken to many, many empaths, many intuitives. They know that they've had past lives. They're aware of them. And the easiest thing for me to tell you right now, hi Cindy, is that you're going back many, many, many lives. You've had many, many, many jobs. You have been the student many times. You have been the teacher many times. And you have so much knowledge. Hey, Chrissy. You have so much knowledge. Have so much knowledge that is literally inside of you, inside of your being, inside of your soul, whatever you want to call it. And it's there. It's hardwired in there. So we get bored. Sometimes we get bored very easily. We get bored and, well, then we create a little bit of drama because we know how to get out of the drama at any given point in time. The problem is that inherently we know how to get out of the drama, but we forgot that we know how to get out of this. So boredom creates something that we unintentionally don't want. It creates this monkey mind thing where we let our conscious mind take over. And even if everything's going right and you are in your job, let's say you have a desk job. You're at your desk job, you're doing some data entry, your brain is still going. I mean, you're hardwired as an empath. Your brain has learned how to work with your ability to bring in all this information from people around you, from the phone calls around you, from literally, you're hearing people's conversations. There is no need for 5G network. You've got 1G. That's it, you. And as it is, you're already taking in all this stuff. You're taking in people's emotions, you're hearing conversations, you're seeing pictures, you're feeling energies, and you have this amazing gift where you can do multiple things at the same time. But it makes it so hard for an empath and an intuitive to actually keep that monkey mind quiet. Because what you end up doing on the back end of it is you're simply just you're allowing a 2-year-old to drive a car, and that's just not where you want to go. So one of the things that I love to do is when I am doing something that's got a lot of data entry to it and I start to feel things, it's not necessarily that I'm feeling the people around me. It's not that I'm necessarily picking up on anything. My brain has just decided that it's gonna go rogue. And the fastest way for you to get out of this little monkey mind thing is to literally write with both hands. Put a pen in both of your hands and write with your primary hand and start to write something. Open up a book and start to copy it. And then make your other hand at the same time draw a picture, even if it's a stick figure, and make it happen. It will overwhelm your brain. And in the process of overwhelming your brain, it's also going to quiet that little obnoxious troublemaker that's in your conscious mind. So that's one of the things that I like to do. That is the easiest thing for somebody to do that they can do right away. 2 pieces of paper, 2 pens, and go for it. So the other thing about, well, I was trying to get some talking points about doing this video today. And I've got to tell you, I have no other way to describe it except that I got bored with trying to figure out topics for the boredom discussion. I don't have any other way to explain it. I got bored with it. So, some of the things is people with desk jobs, intuitives, empaths that have desk jobs, be very conscious of what you're doing. Even if you're working with people and you're still going to have a million things going on in your brains, because you can have so much come into your brain at the same time. You can literally do a good job at something and still not be there. You can literally go and do funny story. There was a movie years and years and years ago. I was in my 20s, and I was watching it, and everybody had this super secret Indian name. So I was telling somebody about it. I was telling my boss about the movie and how I thought it was really cute. And everybody got a super secret Indian name. So he decided that it was going to be one of these team building exercises for him. He just got a kick out of it. And everybody got a super secret Indian name, and only he knew what the super secret Indian name was. I don't know whether he remembered them or not after 3 months, but mine was Cat Chasing Butterflies. Because I was always going here and there and everywhere, and oh, look, pretty, shiny, new, boom, boom, boom. I was everywhere. But I could still do a fantastic job at my job. But I had the attention span of a gnat. I was literally gone. And we live a lot of that because we've done so much of this. So honor that you have the answers. And honor that boredom's biggest problem is that it likes drama. Your inability to acknowledge that you've got all those answers inside of you. If you put yourself in the hole, you did it as the spirit that you are, as the soul that you are, as the being that you are, because you're not honoring something inside of you. You are not doing what you truly need to do to make it a better life for you to live in this lifetime. Now, I know that takes up a whole bunch of things about my purpose in life and things like that. I'm not talking about your purpose in life. I'm not talking about any of these things right now. I'm talking about boredom as an empath and how it affects your money. In order for you to keep your attention, you create drama. You create something that allows you to actually be in this physical realm and feel like you have a purpose. So you create money scarcity. And you may create money scarcity by buying the pretty shiny things on TV, buying the pretty shiny things on the computer. You may like to go on vacations that you have to pay off forever. You may only get part of a vacation paid off and then you're ready for the next one. And so you're in this constant loop of bills and bills and bills and bills and bills. Or you know you can create the money, which is really one of the biggest problems that I see people do. You know that you can create the money, so you're not going to take the action until there's literally an enormous need to do so. You are in the 11th hour. You're at 11:59. You have to create it. So remember that because you can create that fast, you can solve your problems that fast, that you have these times, these blocks of time, where you are literally creating boredom for yourself so that you can have a bigger sense of yourself. So how do you fix that, right? Besides drawing with two hands. You're going to have to take a big step with me today, okay? You have to acknowledge that you are far smarter, far bigger, far wiser, far more experienced than you acknowledge. And I'm not talking about in one way. I'm not talking about in one way. I'm talking about in so many ways that you have no idea. That you take yourself from place to place to place. You can be so many things. It's just that this time, this reality, draws you to be something. Sorry, it's really dry in here. It brings you to be something more. The boredom is trying to help you create something. Create you out of a situation that you originally put yourself in so that you could add into your repertoire, so to speak. I'm really, really good with money. I'm really, really good with this. I'm really, really good with healing. I'm really, really good with whatever. Really, really good with playing with crystals. Okay. So I want you to take a step back. I want you to tell me, and I get the whole if you could do anything and it wouldn't matter whether you get paid for it or not and you make $1 million, that doesn't work for me, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes what you have the biggest problem with your life is where the gold is. Where the gold is in your life. Where the gold is in a business. Where you consistently refuse to allow yourself to succeed is usually the place that has the biggest potential for you to actually create money. If your problem was that you have no self-confidence and you've brought yourself out of self-confidence issues, and now you have great self-confidence and you want to work with people and help them with it, okay. If that was your biggest problem and you dug yourself out of it and you've got that to work with to help people, that may be the biggest draw, but it might have taken you 20 years to get there because you weren't willing to step into your light. So there's a lot of things that people do to create boredom. They or get, I don't want to say create boredom, but they create a situation because they're bored and because they're not living up to what they believe is their mother's expectations, their father's expectations, my expectations, your expectations, whatever. And what you need to know is that living in a perpetual state of hamster wheel is not going to get you the joy that you're looking for. It's going to make you feel worse about yourself. So can you please stop playing hamster wheel? Nobody gets anywhere on hamster wheel. The hamster's in great shape, but you know, that's it. He doesn't get anywhere. He doesn't see anything. He just keeps seeing that little spinny thing. And it's really that simple. It's about you having to take the steps to really acknowledge what it is in your life that you truly want to have, what you truly want to be able to do. And I think a lot of people that I've worked with have been shamed out of being able to do multiple things. And that's why I work with empaths and intuitives. I love it. That's why I work with your money problems, because your money problems aren't your problems. They're somebody else's problems. And once you dump that, you would not believe the flow of money that comes to people. That's why I do it. That's what I do. I help empaths and I help intuitives, eliminate money scarcity in 90 days or less. That's my job. It's an awesome job. You get to see somebody not only change their money situation, they change their life. You don't just change one thing. It's like a waterfall. It keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. All of these things change with it. All of these things improve with it. And to watch somebody have the courage to step into that and not choose the boredom and not choose the money scarcity by going out with their friends 7 times, a week, by buying things that they don't need, but they don't want to also honor the fact that what they truly need doesn't cost any money and it fills something up. The boredom is part of a piece of you where you feel something is lacking. Because when you are totally and completely in connection with everything that you are, when you are totally and completely filled with self-love, when you are totally and completely filled with self-confidence and joy, the last thing that you're going to think about doing is going out with your friends and getting drunk until you have a headache. The last thing that you're going to do is go out and spend $100 in scratch tickets so that you can see if you can win some more money. The last thing you're going to do is go out and spend $1,000 on the internet buying clothes. Unless, of course, you're buying the clothes to donate to a project or something. But boredom is a piece of yourself that you're not honoring. Boredom is a piece of yourself that wants to come through to the light. You're not using everything. You're living in this realm, in this dimension where we can only do one thing at a time. No, not you. Not you. You can do far more than one thing at a time, and you already know this, which is why boredom creates money scarcity, because we're trying to fill it with things. You don't have to fill it with things. You have to fill it with you. And that is truly one of the most, it can be one of the hardest things that you have to face. And the reason that I say that is, what does selfish look like for you? Really, what does selfish look like for you? What would you have to do that would cause you to feel a little bit of guilt? Because instead of putting your kids first, you put yourself first. Because instead of, I have to spend a half hour today with my horse, or I have to spend a half hour today with my dog, or I have to spend a half hour today with my cat. Never once has an animal that loves you said, well, I've given you 10 minutes. Get out. Cats will just walk away. They won't kick you out. There's a difference. So let's work on this whole boredom thing. I want you to review in your life where you're hiding yourself, where you're saying, but I'm just me. Well, thank God for that. Thank God that you're just you. Because just you, nobody else is like you. Nobody else is like you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you think your strengths are, what you think your weaknesses are. And as I said before, sometimes what you think your weaknesses are actually your strengths that you've turned upside down on their head. Really. The things that you struggle the most with end up being that gold nugget that you turn around and you create Facebook posts on and run a business off of. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. I'm serious. I'm poking fun at myself, but it's true. I dug myself into a world full of shit. And then I realized that the thing that I was looking for, I wasn't looking for someone to save me. I was looking for myself to love myself, to not need to be saved anymore.